So almost everybody guessed correctly when I asked what the first thing I was going to change on this Mustang was, and it is the wheels. I hate these wheels. It's funny because everybody said they were ugly in the comments, and that just shows that the previous owner put them on because he thought they were cool. So obviously he changed them out from the stock wheels, and I think any of the stock wheels that came on the GT were better than these wheels. But that just shows how some people make choices like that, but the majority of people don't agree with that choice, and neither do I. So the first thing I needed to do was get the car lifted up and on jack stands. I was going to clean all this up too. It had some leaves and spider webs underneath it. It's been sitting for a while. So I went ahead and got the floor jack and broke the lug nuts loose first. And these lug nuts were reverse key style lug nuts, so they had a special tool that was really thin to fit in there. Like you couldn't get a normal socket inside the holes for these lug nuts. It's pretty annoying. So I got the car up and I was able to get my impact wrench on the tool and get the wheels off. And here we go. Get out of here. Go! I wanted those things gone. They landed on the grass, don't worry. Anyway, it was a good time though to take a broom and clean out all these spider webs and leaves and things that were stuck in here. So, so which wheels do you think that I wanted on this GT? Well, I can tell you right now, my favorite combination on a GT is bullet wheels. And a lot of people guessed that correctly. They said, I bet bullet wheels are what you're going to put on that car. And so I put a listing on Facebook Marketplace that if anybody wanted 18-inch wheels to trade for GT wheels, I'd do that, or I would buy bullet wheels. And I came up with these in one day. Yes, I'm so excited. A nice guy had responded to my listing. This is his 2001 or 2 Mustang GT convertible, and it had the bullet wheels, and he said, I have a set of these bullet wheels for sale if you're interested. What happened was he had upgraded to a set of black wheels, and these were in his garage, and his mom literally told him, we need to get those wheels out of the garage. And so he got on Facebook Marketplace and he saw my ad, and so he contacted me and said, hey, I have those. So these are the wheels he put on his. They're a nice looking black wheel. But for me, I really wanted the bullet wheels, so it worked out. I paid him a very good price for them. Paid him more than what I had sold bullet wheels for in the past, and the tires on these are kind of shot. Um, they were kind of dirty, and um, that's okay, but the front tires are um, 245 40s, so they're kind of low profile, which doesn't help with the stock GT suspension, but look how good these look. I love these. This makes me really happy. The wheels make the car. That's something my friends and I had always said. A set of wheels will really make the car. And another reason I really like these wheels is because these wheels are obviously my favorite wheels for the GT, but when the Bullet came out, they offered these on GTs as well at the same time. So I saw these wheels offered on the GT and the Bullet. And something cool was there was a silver GT in my neighborhood when I was 16 years old, right when these wheels came out. And I used to drive past it. So it was a silver GT with bullet wheels. It was basically this exact same car. And I always liked that car. As I drive by, I'd say, wow, I love that car. And I considered that as one of my favorite cars. Um, at that time, the Bullet was my favorite car. It was 2001. And the GTs looked very similar, though, and maybe different colors would be something that I was interested in. So here we go with the exciting part of lowering the car down and seeing how it's going to look on bullet wheels. I really love this look, and I've said that a million times in this video, I know, but man, this is the way it should be. So anyway, look how good this looks. Like I said, the front suspension is really high and the tires are a little lower profile, and the tires were low on air. But this is a picture of my 2001 Mustang GT that I had for a little while. And as you can see in this picture, I had the same setup with the bullet wheels. And this car didn't come that way though. When I bought it, it had a set of the Steeda Ultralight wheels, which were 18-inch wheels. And they looked really good, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted to have bullet wheels on the car instead. And I actually did sell the car with these wheels still on the car. I listed them locally for sale, and I didn't have any interest in them. Nobody wanted these wheels. People from Las Vegas didn't even come up and get them, and I've heard lately that these are actually a very rare wheel and that a lot of people are looking for these now. So I just sold the car with those wheels on it when I did, and I kept the bullet wheels because they were an extra set that I had for one of my other GTs at the time, and I enjoyed these wheels, and I later sold them for like $250. So I sold them for less than what I paid for these new wheels that I just bought. And in this picture, it even had the bullet springs on it, which I'll talk about in a minute, but it looked really low, and that's because the 18-inch wheel fills in the gap a little bit too. But I really wanted to have the bullet wheel look on it, so I did swap them over to bullet wheels. But the car also had a set of big Wilwood front brakes, and they would not clear the bullet wheels. And I actually ended up trading those Wilwood brakes to my friend as a trade for labor, as he came up from Las Vegas and helped me put the cams in my Bullet. And so to pay him for his time and for him coming up to help me, I took the Wilwoods off, and that helped me out too because I took his stock brakes and I was able to put the Bullet wheels on that car for a little while, and I really liked it like that. So I had that set up before, and it shows you what extent I went to have bullet wheels on a silver GT. You can also see in this picture that the car looks nice and low. It's lower than the other car is. These are the stock springs out of my Bullet, so that's why the car looks so good. The Bullet has just a little bit lower, I think it's 3/4 of an inch lower than a stock GT on the springs, and it really does make a difference. So I realized that I probably should have put air in the tires on those GT wheels before I put them on the car. It would have been so much easier just to stop and put air in them before I mounted them to the car. But Danny Johnson lives just a couple blocks away, so I decided to just tow the car down there. He came over with his white GT, and he drove the silver GT as I pulled the car to his house just to put air in the tires. And that really wasn't that big of a deal. It only took a couple minutes. And so we pulled it over there, and he has a really nice big air compressor, and it was really nice of him to do that for me. So I went ahead and filled the tires up, and that actually did help with the tire gap in the wheel well a little bit. The gap actually did look worse with the tires so low, and I didn't know they'd be low on air. I just put them on the car. So we towed the car home and got it back where it needed to be. And here's a really cool picture of the two GTs together with bullet wheels. So that's really cool. I really like that. So everybody who guessed in the comments, you're correct. It was the wheels were the first things I wanted to change, and it looks so much better with these wheels on it. I love the car with these wheels on it. And those who guessed the side scoops, you're right there, because that's the next thing that I would change cosmetically about this car. I'm going to go about that. I don't know how, but they need to be silver. I hate when people paint them different colors. I hate when the scoops are repainted on these cars. They need to be body color matched all the way. It's like when you see the cheap work truck edition, like F-150 or F-250 or whatever, that has like the cheap plastic grill that's like plastic and black color, and the rest of the truck's a different paint color, or even like the bumpers and stuff, or even some of the Silverados. They just look so terrible compared to the chrome grill or the paint match grill. To me, when you have different color scoops on the car, it just looks like it's cheap. So I'm definitely going to put the stock color back on those side scoops no matter how I do it. I don't care if it's a cheap paint job or a spray paint or whatever, but it's got to be silver again. So I'm extremely happy with that purchase and how this car looks now. Every time I look out the window at it, I see it, I'm like, yeah, that looks so good. That's something that I wanted, a silver GT with bullet wheels. And a few people in the comments on the last video even said, I hope you put bullet wheels on that car. So they were correct. So here's a video of Danny Johnson driving off with his Borla exhaust and off-road BBK X-Pipe. It sounds really good. But thanks for watching the video, and stay tuned for more of these updates.